that you have to really tune into wrestling to get that sort of action. There we go, bam. So yeah, hopefully this will protect these. I never plan on selling them. These would be the very last things to go if I ever had to liquidate the collection. But hopefully this will keep them safe from any accidental dings or anything, especially as I'm taking them on and off different shelves or whatever. So yeah, put it in backwards, you're right. So anyway, we'll be doing some of that. And we'll be playing some games. The first game that I want to play, that I think a lot of people don't know about. Oh, first of all, let me show you a little something about what I got going on here. This bad boy is the EverDrive N8 from the Stone Age Gamer. There are many places to buy an EverDrive cart. You can get them from many overseas sources. In fact, the cheapest place to get them is direct from the source, direct from the Ukraine, which I'd love to visit the Ukraine sometime. Love to visit the Ukraine. But anyway, the shipping times on those were extensive. And so I went with a US supplier, Stone Age Gamer. I ended up paying, I think, around $120 for this after shipping. So it's not incredibly cheap. But this contains an SD card, which has every single released NES game on it, commercially released game. And there's tons of homebrew stuff and stuff I can put on this thing later. But that is what this is. Yes, pirate to the extreme. Now, I do have quite a few NES carts, not 800 or so. I think it's like 700 and something. The high 700s when you count all of the release games for the NES. So anyway, and of course, oh, there we go. There we go. And they are labeled by letter, as you do. And I want to start today by playing a game that you might not think I'd start with. We are going to play some Monopoly Monopoly. Hey man, I understand, Frodo. Let me tell you something. This is a secret. Most of my enjoyment from wrestling comes from hearing Aaron talk about wrestling. Because Aaron's very passionate about it. And I love hearing people that are passionate about their hobbies go on about them, especially Aaron. Because, you know, he is the king of going on. And so, you know, I enjoy that very much. And, you know, I enjoy taking in the occasional match with somebody. Watching wrestling alone, even when I was a kid, was not very much fun. Most fun I ever had with wrestling was when the Monday Night Wars got big, and we were big into the WCW Thunder on Thursday nights. My buddies would all get together and watch it, and that was around 97 or so. So, anyway, this is, yeah, it's right. This is Monopoly for the NES. This is an excellent, excellent version of Monopoly. And as we play, I'll point out the things that make it great. Okay, first of all, there's an attract mode. Awesome. Okay, we haven't even started playing. So this came out in '91. Parker Brothers, a division of Tonka, which is interesting. Tonka, maker of toy trucks here in the United States. And I guess they owned Hasbro at some point. Now Hasbro is probably escaped the yoke of Tonka. Player one is me. I'm always the hat. That's just the rule. Okay, the rest of the guys are computers. Now, my buddy's mom got real into this game, and she actually said that there are, each one of these players have different characteristics in terms of the way that they like to trade and things. So that's kind of interesting. Anyway, we'll play without time limits. We might not play a full game, but anyway. I don't know how big Monopoly is. You know, how big is Monopoly overseas, outside of the United States? Is it a game that people actually play? And of course, this is the straight version of Monopoly, which means that there's no money on free parking, etc. However, the thing that makes this game great, and we haven't experienced it yet. Oh man, I think all of us landed on that. That's insane. I swear, every single one of us except for one person landed on that income tax. No, I think even the person that did, he rolled doubles and he got to go again. Yeah, people that like board games tend to hate Monopoly, which I think is somewhat unjustified. I mean, like, people tend to hate it to a degree that I don't think it deserves. Like, is this game as good as Catan? No. Is this game as good as Kick to Ride? No. But it's still a fun game, you know? And the reason why people don't like Monopoly is because they don't play it by the rules. They have tons of house rules that make the game go on forever. And the biggest house rule that people have is that you don't auction the properties. Like in this game, which is when you're playing it by the rules, is that if you land on a property and you don't want to buy it, you have to auction it off amongst the other players. And that's what makes the game go by quick, because the longest part of Monopoly is like going around the board until all the properties are bought up, basically. And so what you're seeing now is the trade screen. The two computer players are trading together. Carmen wants no part of Isaac's offer, by the way. So that, and also putting money on free parking. Like, the whole point of Monopoly is to bankrupt your opponent. And if you're constantly putting like money on free parking, you're just prolonging the game unnecessarily. So those are the things that give Monopoly sort of a bad rap. Now, of course, there are other things. Like, the whole aspect of Monopoly is it's not so much that you don't just win, you totally destroy your opponents, you know, in this capitalist exercise. But I mean, that's the game, you know. So I always buy up everything as much as I can going around the board the first time. I love the little cash register monitor. Hey, how are the sound levels, guys? Does it sound okay? Oh, interesting picks. Yeah, Monopoly definitely created in the United States. The original properties. Well, there's a whole story behind Monopoly where it was like stolen basically out from under the feet of somebody else. But all of the original properties are based on properties in New Jersey. That's right, baby. Park Place. Yeah, Aaron just needs to turn everything up. The problem is that he's using the blue mic, which it doesn't give you any sort of gain control. So he can't control the volume of his microphone very well because his pro setup is out in the arcade. If he had his arcade set up in his house, then it would be easier for him. But I think that he's going to make some changes. Yeah. So at some point, I'm sure our dear president has owned some of these properties in his previous landlord days. The Landlord's Game makes sense. That sounds good. That sounds right, Frodo. So I hope you all have taken a moment to reflect on the beauty and the power of West Virginia today on the 157th anniversary of our founding as a state. West Virginia was engulfed as all of the eastern seaboard states were in the Civil War. And they broke free of the yoke of the Confederacy and joined up with the Union for a variety of reasons. I wish I could tell you it was because nobody here was racist and everybody thought that the slaves should be free. That was not the case. But we ended up on the right side of history, whether we liked it or not. And so, but I love West Virginia. I've always been a proud West Virginian, and it grinds my gears when people make fun of West Virginia because of the stereotypes that are perpetuated throughout Hollywood that we're just a bunch of hillbillies. Because we are, but not all of us are. That's true, Pix, because it's like 3 in the morning for you. Oh yeah, Waterworks open, baby. So I think I've got both utilities. That's fantastic. Now let me ask you a question. For people that have played international versions of this game, what are the Park Place and Boardwalk? Okay, so now you're going to see the auction screen. And the auction screen is brilliant. I mean, it's as simple as it can be. You know, just bidding up, and up. You just select your cursor and hit your button. Absolutely, Pix. You should also watch the Jennifer Garner interview on Conan O'Brien. A great way to celebrate West Virginia Day, as she points out West Virginia's state bird, state song, etc. In other news, we got new gutters put on Amigo Studios today. Our old gutters possibly were as old as the house, though unlikely. I think that they were probably newer than that, but they were damaged in a recent storm, and we actually got some insurance money. And so, but the real problem was that we have trees that surround our property that constantly drop leaves into our gutters. So we needed a gutter guard system, and we figured, well, why not just put up the just replace everything. You know, since I've got this new job, I've got a little extra money kicking around. Let's just do the whole shebang. So we got new gutters, new gutter guards. Everything looks great. So hopefully, the real danger, of course, is that Amigo Studios will take on water. And with our previous gutters, they would fill up with leaves. Water would leak down the side of the house, and we would be scared that water would get into here, which has happened in the past. And so hopefully, you know, that is the... Oh, I've got 2 of the light blues. That's fantastic. Hey, Duke L. Hudson. Do you really? Park Place and... I think Boardwalk is the most expensive. Park Place and Boardwalk are the 2 dark blues. And I think Park Place is $50 cheaper than Boardwalk. So what is it in the London version of the game? Is it Mayfair and Drury Lane? I don't know. Leedstraat and Calverstraat Straight. Is it straight or Straat? Park Lane and Mayfair. I knew Mayfair was one of them. That's good, Z9K9. We're also home to Jerry West, who, if you're familiar with the National Basketball Association, the logo is his outline, Jerry West. So he's also still the general manager, I believe, of the Los Angeles Lakers. So now we're starting to get some houses built here. You can see the building animation. Again, everything about this game just oozes charm. You know, there's nothing dull and lifeless about it. Okay, makes sense. Free parking, nothing going on. Really? Now that is interesting, Pix. How are the colors different? I just love these little musical interludes too. You know, to use the wrestling vernacular, I am a mark for the little ditty, the musical ditty. This is my favorite. The Super Nintendo version, which should be technically better, is not. To me, this is where Monopoly starts and ends. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Yeah, there are no brown, you know, you got orange, but I don't think there are any brown spaces in the US board. Huh, interesting. Luke, were you the one that was saying that you collect Monopoly boards and pieces? Tell me some more about that collection. They obviously consulted with Aaron Pix, because you know, Aaron, if anything is bad, it's the dirt worst, making it brown. Strite, like Strite. Sorry. I thought I was going to be able to build houses, but I don't have enough to do that. Yeah. Yeah, these are all the right colors. So maybe they're different everywhere else but in America. I do need to do some trading here. Nobody has landed on board. Actually, no, I don't. Nobody has landed on the properties that I need for a monopoly. Where did you go to university, Pix? I will say that was a stroke of marketing genius when they started producing all of the... Oh, man, I'm not going to be able to afford it. Yeah, they're going to outbid me. Especially Mod. Mod is freaking rolling in it. Yeah, I got nothing. Get some digitized speech here, too. Get ready for this. I went to a red brick university too, I believe. Is Sheffield a red brick university? It's one of those things, I guess the red bricks are kind of like the equivalent. Well, they're not, because Sheffield would never have let me in. Hold on a second. Let's see what this person, does this person have anything that I want? What if we offer... No, she's got nothing I want. Sorry. You know, red bricks are they're sort of like the Ivy League of the UK, although that's not true because they're not, but they're like a grouping of universities, right? Nobody wants to trade. Wow, that's insane, Luke. That's fantastic. Hey, if you get a chance, post some of those pictures on Discord. I'd love to check out your collection. Man, I'm not doing well here. The thing I like about this game too is, especially when you're playing with the computer, the game pretty much plays itself. Unfortunately, well, I'll have to look and see next time it's my turn. If anybody, yeah, there's still properties that are unbought so far. So I really need that last light blue one if I'm going to have a chance to win this thing. Are there any, it looks like, yeah, there's just 2 properties that are unowned. What would you say is you know, obviously I think Monopoly would be the board game of the United States. What is the, you know, in your various countries, in your Hollands, in your Englands, what is the national board game, do you think? I'm glad we made the cut, Pix. Gonis board, eh? What is that, Frodo? Man, that is a killer roll. Go back 3 spaces on the community chest and collect 150 bucks. I love this music. Get ready. geese board. So it's about the bird of flight, right? Hey, nobody owns it. I'll take it, man. I really need that last light blue property. Do you ever return to your alma mater picks and just, stroll around, remember the good times? Yeah. There is a multi-page thread on Board Game Geek, Rich, about Cluedo and whether the American version should have been called Clue or Cluedo. Or Cluedo. I guess it's Cluedo because that's what makes it funny, I guess, maybe. Anyway, people are very passionate about that. Very passionate. Thank you. I will take that, Carmen. Did you have, in the UK, do people form, because I'm not sure if, when I was a graduate student in the UK, it's a different deal, of course, when you're a grad student than an undergrad, but my undergrad, I feel like I formed really, really lasting relationships with my professors, and I still talk to them. Is that a thing in the UK, or is it more just like you go to class and then you come home and you do your work or whatever? Like, are you still in contact with any of your old professors? Oh no, I thought I got it. So really, I need to roll a 3, I believe. Oh no, Maud. Okay, well now I know that Maud, and I think Maud is the person that I need to trade with for Boardwalk anyway, so I should be able to get a pretty good deal here. Yeah, we got sorry, Luke. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm still involved in music, and so I still I still bring my kids to various festivals and things at OU. That has a lot to do with it. But I haven't really talked to any of my old Sheffield crew from uni in a long time. I still keep in touch with my friends from when I worked at the Apple store there. Okay, so now we will do a trade. So we need properties trade. And I think Maud... Yeah, Maud has Connecticut Avenue. So I'm going to offer Park Place, and I want some more of her nonsense. Give me Pennsylvania Railroad, and give me some cash. Some straight cash, homie. Cluedo. Cluedo. Sounds kind of Italian when you put it that way. How much cash does Maud have? Let's find out. $316. I won't take all her cash. Let's say $200. Let's see if she goes for it. Oh. Okay. Nope. Sorry. Dang it. For it, I was distressed to hear that your girlfriend did not like the Patreon song. I figured that was a, let's see here. I want to make sure that I can, yes. I can't give her all my money. What if I give her $200? But again, this is an ingenious way of making these deals. 278, 317. Okay, I'm not comfortable with giving up that much cash. So what I've got to do is I've got to let's go cash to 0. Oh yeah, the pre-recorded ones are always better for sure. no, no. Wait, remove that. I wonder if she... And some cash. She might take the bait on this one. This is really a great deal for her, I feel like. Oh, no. Oh, gosh, no. No, no, no. No way. I am not. Okay, let's just do a straight trade. No, I went the wrong way. This is a crazy deal for her, but I don't care. What? No way. No way. Well, okay. You do that. What do you think about this, huh? No. Okay. I'll give you $100. I'll give you $112. No deal, huh? All right, we'll see how this pans out here. Freaking mod. Hate you. You know, the Germans are the king of the board games. You know, all of the, you know, they run all the best contests. You know, the what is it called? The Spar de Gilles or something like that. Spar de Jeu. Sounds French though, doesn't it? Anyway, they've got that the big award that they hand out to the best board games. All right. Anyway, we're not going to complete this game, but this is Monopoly for the NES. If you have a chance to play it, I highly recommend it. It is a great game. So now we move on to requests. I do not have Elite on here, I will tell you right now. I don't think I do. I do. I have it. Now let's see if it actually runs. Spiel des Jahres. Yeah. This is the old PAL special, as you can see. So that's not going to work. I'll download the NTSC patch at some point in the future, and we'll give it a go. Oh wow! I didn't realize that he did Alley Cat. Alley Cat's a great game. Great game. Hey Mitsuyama. Oops. Oh, no. Okay. Really? That's interesting picks. Obviously a homebrew effort. As Agricola is, I mean, it can't be as old as the Amiga's commercial lifespan was. All right, I'm going to go pour myself another Elysian Space Dust. I'll be right back. As I'm leaving, please put any NES requests in the chat. All right. NHL. I don't know that there is an NHL game for the NES. There are a couple of options, though. Let me show you this real quick before we move on. This is Elysian Space Dust IPA. I don't know where it comes from. Brewed and bottled by Elysian Brewing Company, Seattle, Washington, and Fort Collins, Colorado. Okay. So, but anyway, if you get a chance to try this, I love hoppy IPAs, and if you do too, I highly recommend it. All right. Well, we'll do. We'll check and see. There might be an NHL game, and I also want to continue with the boxing exercise as well. Keep in mind, I do have a zapper here, so if you would like to see any zapper-based games, you can do that too. I know that B-52 is a very famous NES game because of its rarity. I know it's one of the most expensive carts out there. Joy Mecha Fight. Is that a commercially released game? Is that something I should have on my card here, Roshi? Just pre-folding this box here, and the next game to be boxed is going to be Popeye for the NES. So get those in there. Holy Diver, yep, that's a good choice. Very difficult game, if I recall correctly. A Famicom release. Am I thinking about the right game? It was a Famicom exclusive. Never got a US release. Solstice is one that we can do too. Yeah. I plan on going for a while this evening, as long as the Elysian Space Dust IPA keeps flowing. So yeah, absolutely. You know, let me just get this going in here real quick. Okay, so now we are ready to box our second NES game of the evening, Popeye. Now this is not an original Popeye. The original Black Box NES games had a hang tab in the back. As you can see, this hang tab in pro wrestling has not been punctured, which means it's more valuable. I don't know if you can see the outline or not, but these were actually manufactured in a way that you could, they weren't shrink wrapped. Well, maybe they were, I don't know. But anyway, you could take that hang tab and pop it out of the cardboard and hang it up on a shelf. So those were the first versions. The later revisions did not have the hang tab, and that is what this version of Popeye is. Okay. Oh, and I neglected to put it in backwards. So, whoop. All right, Popeye, boxed and ready for a sleeve. Okay, so let's look for an NHL game first. Like I said, I don't feel confident that there is an NHL game for the NES. And that confidence was... However, we will not leave this genre. We will play ice hockey. Wayne Gretzky's on there? All right, we'll do Wayne Gretzky. There he is, Wayne Gretzky's Hockey. Right between Wario's Woods and Wayne's World. What company? Look at who produced this, huh? Bethesda. I have never played this before. One of the things about NES games is they often have cool intros, not unlike the Amiga. So it's always worth watching just to see what happens. Well, I guess that wasn't that great. I was expecting more. Okay, so going through, this looks like all of the things that we want. I'm not sure what game speed is, but we'll go with fast. We will not go with professional. Not if we can avoid it. Let's try this again. Oh, I see. A is what move. That's very strange. Okay. Anybody have a favorite hockey team? Interesting. I did not know that, Roshi. Looks like this has, well, I don't know if it has the player license or not, but it's got players. I guess it does. Maple Leafs got in first. All right. I think I did the wrong thing. Try this again. There we go. Computer player 2, we'll make them the Bruins. They both seem to be almost the same color. I don't know if there is a way to change your player. Oops. That pauses the... Okay, select changes your player. Boy, having select change your player is not great. What? Why is he going that way? Offsides? Oh my gosh. That's true, Rushi. Is that another offsides? I don't understand offsides. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how it works. Yeah, the rules are correct. That is true. All right, here we go. It's the fast break. It's the turnaround jump shot. This is... What does that mean? Hacking? Tripping. Car license plate. Weird. Okay. Come on, just give me a shot on goal here. Holding, eh? Yeah, I don't understand. The problem is that I don't understand offsides in football either, Pix. It seems like you should just be able to bomb it down there, and have somebody waiting and just nail it in. That's how I'd do it if I was writing the rules. I get out on the pitch all the time, Rushi. I'm never not on the pitch. All right. Here we go. Here we go. It's fast break. Shoot the ball. Shoot the puck. Okay. I've got control now. Okay. I don't know the button to make it go in the net. Maybe it's just... Okay, A is... I think A is shoot and B is pass. So, come up. Oh, come on. You know, I was thinking about making it rain when I was upstairs pouring my Elysian Space Dust IPA. I've never had the opportunity to really make it rain before. But at some point, when we get together for Amiga West Virginia 2021, then I will make it rain for sure in the bar area. It'll just be like I'll be throwing Benjamins and loonies. It will be intercultural. Now, why did you give me a penalty there? I don't know. Okay. This is not great. We're done with this game. Next. I know that we saw Ghosts and Goblins. Pull up my thing here. B50, Boy and His Blob. Let's try Boy and His Blob. Now, this was a highly heralded game when it came out. I remember reading reviews in Nintendo Power that lauded this thing. David Crane game. Nice tune. Okay. So you push select to go between the different kinds of jelly bean. Unfortunately, they don't tell you what they actually do, which is a shame. Can I go down there? Yeah. I like this tune. There's my blob. Come on, blob. All right. Let's go all the way the other way. I guess I can't go over there. Maybe I need to, let's see. Okay, what happens if I give him a licorice jelly bean? Did I miss his mouth there? Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, that gives me a ladder. But that's not what I need something that turns him into a hole. Maybe coconut? Oops, that's the... Okay, and roll them around. Kind of cool. Okay. Cinnamon. Let's see what that does. Whoops. Oh, oh. No! Come back. All right. I think I'm gonna have to get the instruction book for this one and try it again, Luke, because without it, I don't think we're gonna be able to get too far. But this is a really cool game. Really a cool game. Yeah, I've noticed that too, Frodo. It's not my favorite thing in the universe, if I'm being honest. All right. Let's see what's next. Let's go with Metal Storm. Got it. So this is a IREM deal. I believe IREM is aren't they the people that did Archery Warriors? Okay, mech game. Cool. Very Japanese. Oh, nope. Come on. All right. Now, is Metal Storm based on an existing property? Like, is there an anime or something called Metal Storm? It's sort of like VVVVV. Man, one hit kill. Brutal. Wow. Best just to avoid those. No, no. All right, let's try it again. Okay, at least I get to continue from where I left off, just without the score, but that's okay. You do have a duck, but I'm not sure if the duck really makes you that much lower. Were you guys into mechs, like, back in the day? Was that a big part of your, like, did you get into Gundam or anything like that? That was one thing that I sort of missed out on as a youth. I missed out on the mech trend. I never really watched any of those classic animes. Or did anything with mechs really at all. I didn't even really know that mechs existed as a thing until high school. And I heard about Mech Warrior. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like big robots? All right. What do we do here? Any ideas? Oh, you do have 360-degree shooting. That's kind of cool. See, this would be like if I rented this game and I got to this point, I would be like, well, that was a rental wasted. Like the tune. Yeah, and you can't duck and shoot either, which means that I don't know if I could actually hit that thing. Let's try it. Yeah, I can't. Oh yeah, I played some Super Kong Frodo. Down in A. I'm hitting down in A, and it's not giving me what I want. Yeah, normally with platform games you can just kind of jump down and A is the way to go. But not this time. Let's see if I can, maybe there's a secret. Also not sure about what these orange blocks do, if they do anything special. No, but I played Super Kong Frodo. I downloaded the emulator and played. I did not play the other game. I've not had a chance to play that yet, and I probably will not. But I did try out Super Kong. It was super bad. Oh, okay. I guess that's an option. Maybe I need to destroy all these guys. Looks like they've already been destroyed. Yeah, there's nothing else left on. We've got 30 seconds left. Oh, look at that. Select doesn't seem to do anything. I got nothing. Go on the ceiling, then over to the right, jump normally. Okay. I do like you get rapid fire in this game. That's cool. Oh, man. One hit kill is a killer. Oh, nope. Yeah, cool, cool. Difficult, but cool. All right, we're gonna move on. You know, that reminds me, there's a game that I wanted to play again that I played back in the day, like way back in the day. My best friend growing up was a girl named Amber that lived down the street. And she got to rent a ton more games than I did. Actually, she had a NES long before I did. I think that we probably ended up renting, I probably rented more than she did, but and one of the games that she rented was Robo Warrior. And I haven't been back to it since I originally played it. And I've always wanted to go back to it. I don't know why I never have. Now is the time. But I still remember sitting in her living room. Her dad had these huge speakers. They're like these huge, in my mind, they were like as tall as the ceiling. And they were this green fabric. And it's also the first time I ever saw the Fender. They had a 2600 and that box art is associated with that too. So, all right, well that was our intro for Robo Warrior. Jaleco game. So this is kind of Bomberman-esque, I guess. Oh, killing myself here. Now, when was the first time that you guys actually saw a Nintendo? I know that so many of you guys grew up with micros. Did you see a Nintendo at any time near the time that it was released? I don't know if I needed to go down here. Really weird. I don't know if oh, okay, I do have extra lives. This is a game where when you die, you just immediately respawn, which is cool. Okay, so late 80s, pretty early on. Would you say that the computer was still the dominant form of home entertainment, though, Frodo? In the Netherlands? In the Low Countries? I don't know if I'm ever going to get out of here. I don't know what this place is. I went downstairs and... Okay, it's telling me that I'm almost dead. This is not as cool as I thought it was. But here's the thing. I think this is just a reflection of how I'm really a music guy. Because you can always depend on the NES to deliver when it comes to background music, when it comes to gameplay music. And I find that so off-putting whenever we're playing a game on Amigos that doesn't have music. And maybe that's just cultural conditioning on the part of the NES being such a big part of my life, and there was always music there. That's awesome. That's awesome, Luke. It does. I mean, let's take a look at the NES, shall we? So, it would fit in with any, stereo system or anything like that back in the day. The NES design, as I'm sure that you've read about, was actually designed for that purpose. It was designed not to look like a games machine. It was designed to look more like a VCR, which is why you can't see the cartridge when it's installed and stuff like that. So, Nintendo really put a lot of thought into how can we make this thing a success in terms of getting it into living rooms. I don't know that, most of the people making micros, obviously we're marketing it towards the do your homework on this thing crowd, and they didn't mind it. Of course, you can't design out a keyboard. So anyway, let's move on to our next boxing. Not actual boxing. Dust off the NES a little bit too. I'll tell you a little bit about this NES. This NES is set in my entertainment center for at least, since we moved here. I did not buy this NES. Well, I did at some point, but it was before. This is one of the few things that is like BK, before Korea. When I sold my gaming collection, I kept a smattering of things, kept a couple NES systems, and some other things I gave away. Well, there was a guy that came over to my house, and he was like, my girlfriend would love a NES. And I was like, well, here, take this, and if she wants it, you can just pay me next time I see you. I never saw that guy again. Turns out that he ended up, anyway, it's not important what happened. Things did not go well for him, so I never saw him again. But anyway, I've had this NES sitting in my entertainment center. As you see behind you here, Amigo Studios, the entertainment center right in the middle of the room with all the shelving. It's been sitting there since we moved here in 2012, and but I didn't have any hookups. I didn't have any power or anything like that. So I bought, in an auction, somebody was auctioning one controller and an AC power adapter for the NES. And I was like, yes, that is what I want. So I got that. And then I won another auction for a second controller, an auction for the Zapper. And I was able to get this thing up and running for like less than $50. So I was happy about that. Oh, well, okay, I'll tell you, because I'm not going to tell you his name, obviously, but he was a former band director at West Virginia State University, and I guess he got involved with the field commander, who was a student, the drum major, the conductor of the band, and was somehow then he left, and he was no more, and so that was what happened to him, Anyway, he was, and I don't even know why he came over to my house, but he was here, and so, anyway, that's what happened to him. But yeah, and lo and behold, who was I to know that 5 years later, maybe 6 years, 7 years later, I would be working at West Virginia State. So weird. It's a weird thing. But yeah, being able to program is definitely something that the Nintendo couldn't do. The Famicom, of course, famously had the keyboard with a basic, family basic and all that stuff, but the Famicom never made any real inroads into pretending like it was a computer, even though com, short for computer and all that stuff. If I feel like I grew up in the best possible environment. I started out with the 1200 XL. And then I got a NES, and then my dad had an IBM XT. I had all kinds of outlets to learn how to program, but I don't feel that I had the aptitude for it. I was never really passionate, I guess, to learn. And then once I got into high school, I realized that I was rubbish at mathematics, and any comp sci major will tell you that is the number one thing that you need to have in order to progress through the program. And so my dreams were dashed. I always wanted to be a computer programmer, a video game designer. I think lots of kids want to be video game designers, but I really did. I remember reading in Nintendo Power, the DGI Pen was the school for the programmers. They went to learn how to become video game designers. This is probably still around. But when I was a freshman in high school, I took geometry, and I got a D. And I didn't do too much better in any of the other math classes that I took, and so I decided that music would be my way. And half of the reason I went into music was just because I didn't have to take any math classes. So I don't know. You could call it a wasted life. Sometimes I think of it as a wasted life, but I've turned out to be what I am, and so what can you do? Anyway, let's box another game, shall we? Up next is Pro Wrestling. Now, we're going to play this. This is going to be the next game that we're going to play. Pro Wrestling is sort of it's sort of a funny title. The early days of the internet, before things like Wikipedia and really anything, you had all these different sites, and I don't know if you guys have heard of Sean Baby before. but he did all these NES reviews, and his review of pro wrestling will stick with me until the day I die. I remember that he said, like, because you can't actually pick your wrestler, you just have to hit reset. It says if you accidentally pick King Corn Karn, just hit reset because he's no good. But anyway, this is pro wrestling for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This is a hang tab game. You can see the hang tab back there, still unpopped, as it were. We're going to put this in the plastic box. Rumpity trumpery. Wow. Yeah. Getting involved with a student, that is, people talk about, you know, it's hard to fire bad teachers, and it is. It's hard to fire bad teachers. You've got teachers that do the bare minimum to get by, and they do it for year after year after year until they retire, and then they retire. It's very difficult to actually be fired as a public school teacher. I can only speak from the United States. But if you get involved with a student, that is a one-way ticket to unemployment bill. That is no good, and so you want to avoid that. Avoid that at all costs. That is, it's no good when that goes down. And we really, I mean, I've heard about all kinds of horrible things going on, and really even the movie Mr. Holland's Opus, which was a big sort of catalyst for a lot of my friends to go into music education. He sort of gets involved with a girl. Like, I mean, it's not like explicit or anything, but like, she's like, I want to leave and I want you to come with me. And he like gives it some thought, and that is real not cool. Like, so I will not show my kids that movie. There's a couple of questionable scenes in there, which the overall movie is good. It's a worthwhile homage to the profession of music education, but there are a couple sort of, in Reddit parlance, you would call them cringe-worthy scenes, or maybe just cringe. But yeah, there's some not great stuff in there in Mr. Holland's Opus. So. If you talk to the press, you're expelled. That's awesome, Frodo. You know, that's the big thing that keeps me from using. I have an Apple IIe back in the behind me, and the big thing that keeps me from using it. I want to give you some ASMR here. Just drop that in there. Make sure I'm doing it right. Yeah, I am. Oh yeah. But the analog stickness, the craft joystick that you have to use with the Apple II, no good, man, no good. So anyway, pro wrestling, boxed and ready to go. And hey, look what's happened here. We've run out of gamer fuel, as it were. I'm going to fill this cup up with ice, and I'm going to make myself up a pina colada, I believe. So hang tight, everybody. I will be right back. Feel free to watch Coco Talk as I go. Man, this thing is... That's no good. Okay. All right, Frodo, get some ice cream, man. Load up. You know, it's funny, Frodo, well, I'll tell you when you get back. Let me know when you get back. All right. So we move on. Pro wrestling. One of my favorite episodes that we did was when we talked about the pro wrestling scene in England. And it's a catchy tune also. Learning about giant haystacks, the weird cat guy. I love all those guys. The personalities in wrestling is always been the thing for me. And I guess, oh yeah. We'll go Ghosts and Goblins real quick, Rich. Absolutely. This is a very difficult game. I don't expect to get very far. So you start out in this game with either the fire or the spear. What you really want is the spear. If you get the fire, you should really just reset. We're gonna play with whatever we get. But, okay, we got the spear anyway. So this is a pretty good arcade conversion, I would say. I mean, for the NES, for the time. It's very, very difficult. Very difficult game. Oh. Need my suit of armor back. Ghouls and Ghosts for the SNES. Also very good. Not sure why that didn't give me the armor upgrade. I thought that was the suit of armor gave me the armor upgrade. This is the first mini boss here. Oh, I'm glad to hear you. Frodo, I was going to ask you a question. Oh yeah, I know what it is. But anyway, I guess the Coco is a lot like the Apple too, in that some of the games require an analog stick and some of them don't. This game is famous, I believe, because you get to the end, and if you don't do something right, or maybe you just have to play it all the way through twice to get the true final ending. I can't remember the exact story, but I know it's so deathly, difficult. So we'll muddle through as best we can. What kind of ice cream are you eating, Frodo? See, I'm not sure why the armor, when you pick up the armor, it doesn't actually give you the armor back. That would be super helpful if it did. Now, one of the features of the this EverDrive is that you can actually do save states with it. So if I push select and right, I believe that saves it. And then if I push select and left, let's try it. It didn't work. I don't know. Maybe that's not how it works. Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing. Is that right, Rich? You gotta beat it twice to get the true ending. Chocolate and cinnamon. That sounds great, man. Frodo, sometime I want to get over to the Netherlands. I've never been there before, but my best friend in grad school at Sheffield actually is a girl from the Netherlands, and she was real cool. And so sometime I want to get over there and see the sights, ride the bikes, ride the boats. Do all the things that you do when you're in the low country. So the fire is just no good. It's no good, double no good. Oh. Where is it? Where should you go, Frodo? Tell me what I should do. What are the? If you're going to spend a week in the Netherlands, how can you make that happen? What is the best way to do it? I'm going to beat that first guy, that first mini boss, Frodo, or I mean Rick. It is disappointing that it's so hard to regain your armor once you've lost it. Ah. Come on. Yeah! Yeah, alright. I feel like I've accomplished my goal. I beat the first little guy. That's not going to end well. Do I have to go back to the very, very beginning? Alright. Oh, no, this is where I start. Okay. I can handle that. Let's let those guys go. Oh. Man. Brutal. Brutal. Den Bosch and Maastricht. Okay, absolutely. I was planning to take a huge vacation this year. Well, this year we were planning on going back. Every couple years, we visit my wife's parents, who are Thai, just as my wife is Thai. And we were going to go to Japan and Thailand. I was going to buy a new Iaito, a new sword for my martial art, but that didn't work out. But we would also like to return to Europe at some point in the future, and see the sights for sure. We only went to France last time, but we'd like to see more. All right, that was Ghosts and Goblins. That's probably as best as I'll ever do with that game. Okay, now. Okay, Z9K9, that's really interesting. I would like to definitely check that out from a perspective of somebody that had only been exposed to the ZX Spectrum, to see sort of what the pluses and minuses of the NES were, you know, in terms of the system. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Netherlands is smaller than West Virginia. I can't fact check that right now, but I think that that's right, because I think that that West Virginia is like half the size of England, or maybe a third of the size of England. Yeah, that's fantastic. I like small countries. All right, pro wrestling. Let's do it. Oh, there's also pro sport hockey. Got a pina colada here, by the way. So what did they say, Z9K9? I'm interested in their take on the NES in '87 from Crash. All right, so you cannot choose what wrestler you start with. Like if I hit reset right now, I'm gonna start with a different wrestler. I think, right? No. Okay, I take it back. I guess you can choose your opening wrestler. So we'll go with Giant Panther. So again, you know, this game sort of gets made fun of, but for 1985, I challenge anybody to find a better looking and playing wrestling game than this game. I'm getting demolished, of course. In the States too. I mean, it launched with like 25 games. That's the advantage of coming out 2 years earlier, you know, in a very video game crazed country. It's really hard to chart the releases of, you know, like, I don't know, maybe this is like this, I've never checked because there's not really a site. There's World of Spectrum, but there's not really like a Lemon Amiga that makes it really easy to see how many releases there were for the ZX Spectrum in the first year release, you know, what the scope was. Yeah, so we are twice the size of the Netherlands, which is cool. That means that we can cover the Netherlands in a short period of time. You guys, I guess you drive on the right side like the rest of Europe, not like those monsters in England. 1.5 times, yeah. Look at that, this is the giant panther head grab. Now this is not, of course, the best pro wrestling game on the NES. If Roshi is still here, I will demonstrate the best one. But if he's not, then I'll wait for him to be here because I'd like to get his take on it. That's right. That's right. The right side, baby. I like this kickin' tune too. Yeah, math is not my strong suit, Roshi. That's right. You guessed it, man. Did I say it? I don't think I said it, right? Yeah, you're right, Roshi. All right, so we'll give that a go after we determine who the final victor will be here. Now in this game, you can't climb the turnbuckles, I don't think. I don't think you can really do anything other than just do that gimmick. But yeah, Techno World Wrestling is the best wrestling game on the NES, in my opinion. So tell me some more about your hometown, Roshi. Or not Roshi. Roshi, your hometown's from Ohio. I can drive there if I wanted to tonight. Frodo, tell me about your hometown. What are some of the highlights that I should see when I'm over there in Marston? Maastricht. Sorry, Maastricht. All right, I lost. That's no good. All right, I'll show you an actually good game on the NES for wrestling. So Techno World Wrestling. Roshi knew it. He knew it right off the bat. I just love that theme too. Haunting. All right, so you pick your guy. You got tons of people to choose from. Randy Gomez, Dr. Gildo, Mark Rose. Mark Rose, I believe I went to daycare with a kid named Mark Rose, so we always chose him. Julio Falcon. I like Boris Chekhov because he does the giant giant swing, so we probably chose him. Yeah, and I guess go do that. There we go. You can rename him. I never do. Okay, we'll do some muscle training. We'll do some squats. That's awesome. I can't think of any better way to be. So this is pretty much an accurate rendition of me every single day. I tend to squat, 60 to 70 times with 400 to 500 pounds on my back. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, Roshi, you and Frodo need to get together for some Amigos action. You guys need to get together and do something. All right, now this game, unlike pro wrestling, actually controls very well. And a great thing about this game is that you've got a play-by-play guy telling you what to do. So most of the things that I learned about pro wrestling have just been from listening to this play-by-play guy give the calls. Hey Berserker, how's it going, man? Oh. Frodo likes wrestling. He's afraid to admit it. He loves wrestling. Look at that. Elbow into a dragon. What goes up must come down. I'm gonna climb the turnbuckles here if I can get him into position. Oh. But it's just like, it's amazing how good this game is. You know, it's such, and I hate to say anything bad about the Amiga. If you watch the show, you know that's true. But it's such a wasted opportunity that the Amiga just had nothing in terms of good wrestling games. And this is great two-player, you know? Yeah, I can definitely see that, especially in '87. I mean, what was the MSRP? What do you call it in the UK? You call it the RRP, right? The RRP for a Spectrum. I mean, it had to be a lot less than the NES for sure, especially the 48K. I'm getting outside the ring. I'm getting back inside the ring. Look at this. Oh. He didn't sell it. Here we go. No. I love that stuff, Frodo. City within a city. It's sort of like Hurricane, except without the city part. I love that kick too. Really, this guy he's great. He wears a rad vest too. He doesn't wear it in the ring, but you saw it in that picture. Man, he might get me. He might get me. Oh, wow. He got me. B Chekhov, my man. He's a loser. So anyway, that is Techno World Wrestling, the best wrestling game on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Why don't we try some Zapper stuff, eh? We'll start with the D's. We'll go to the original. Duck Hunt. When we first got my Nintendo Entertainment System, I don't know if I've told this story before, but I was one of these kids that dreamed about owning a Nintendo. I had my Atari 1200 XL. I'd had it for years and years and years and years, and I knew that there was something better out there because my friend Amber down the street had a Nintendo, and I'd seen the light. And I used to literally have dreams about owning a Nintendo. I had a subscription to Nintendo Power before I owned a Nintendo. And I remember I got chickenpox one year, and that was the catalyst. My parents felt pity on me, and they're like, all right, we'll buy you a Nintendo. And I still remember this. We went down to Circuit City. Circuit City is a retailer, national retailer, I believe, that went out of business probably in the mid to late 2000s. The Circuit City in Huntington, which is our closest Circuit City, is now a Chinese buffet that we frequent, although in the days of COVID we no longer frequent. But anyway, we bought the Nintendo, and my dad said, I want to play Shoot the Ducks before you do anything else, because he knew that there was a duck shooting game. So, got the traditional gray zapper, none of that orange nonsense. We'll see how well we do here. You know, the thing that makes the zapper a quality piece of equipment is, one, that it's very, very accurate, but two, they built in, because of the spring mechanism inside of it, you get like a real physical recoil. It's not just like pushing a, it's not just pushing a button. You know, it's you get a real sense that what you're firing is an actual, real, not actually real weapon. It feels, if you've never had the opportunity to fire a real zapper, I encourage you to, especially if you know, like Pix, if you grew up with the Magnum on the Spectrum, is a totally different feel, and it's a much better feel for sure. I will give Nintendo all the credit in the world for making the best ever light gun. I mean, it's so good. What is the Catholic population like in the Netherlands, Frodo? I know that traditionally, I think the north was the Dutch Reformed Church, and the south was the Catholic population. But does that still hold true to some extent, or do you even know? Mm-hmm. I am, of course, as a practicing Catholic, I'm always interested in seeing the various expressions of Catholicism in the various European countries. It was really interesting for me to see, for example, like the difference between German and French architecture and the way that their churches are laid out and things. So that would be definitely something I'd be into upon visiting the Netherlands. Man, I'm awesome. All right, this is surely not that interesting. Let's go ahead and check out the game B with the 2 ducks and see how well I do. I wish there was a way that you could skip forward a little bit and do like a level select, because the game does start out very easy. We'll do one round of this and then we'll check out the clay pigeons. Oh yeah, that sounds great, Frodo. What city is that in? All right, let's check out the clay shooting. Oh, no good. No good there. Okay, cool. Absolutely, Frodo. Frodo, if I do come on over, how far away is that from where you live, Maastricht? I know that's the land of your birth. How far away is that from where you currently reside? Ah, no good. Oh, okay. That's not bad. Well, if I do end up there, I will let you know, and maybe we can meet and have dinner or something. That'll be cool. You can bring your girlfriend. I'll have my wife with me, of course. Anyway, clay pigeon shooting. Super cool. I like it. All right. You know what I'd like to try next? Because I know that this is a game that you guys have played a lot on your various micros. Is Oh, She Lives in Ontario. I forgot about that because it's sort of a joke in America that if you say your girlfriend lives in Canada, it's that your girlfriend is actually not real. So yeah, I forgot about that. I know your girlfriend is real, Frodo. I believe you. Ah, what am I doing here? Come on. Oh, B. B is what we want. Okay. So I want to play some California games. This is a game that got tons of ports on lots of different systems. And I think the NES version is interesting in its own way. How did you guys meet, Frodo? Alright, we'll do some events because there are some that you just can't do. I always pick Ocean Pacific. They're my favorite brand. IRC, wow. Awesome. How long have you guys been together? Really, everything except for the half-pipe I'm pretty good at. Well, why not do the half-pipe? We'll just do them all. So I actually don't really understand how this works, to be honest with you, after years of playing. I think you have to hit B. No. I don't know how you get up, and I don't know how you get score. I don't know how that works. Anyway, I won first. That's great. 16 years ago, wow. When is she gonna move over for real, Frodo? When are you guys gonna tie the knot? 16 years, man. Can't leave her hanging. Let's get this bird. Come on. Oh. There we go. The knee going. The gesture is really the big points. You get a bunch of gestures in there. There we go. Unfortunately, it's hard to recover from a gesture. Absolutely, Frodo. I'd be up for it for sure. Seconds left. But again, it's like the cool thing about the NES, in my opinion, is that you always got background music. I guess, you know, I never would have suspected my opinion on games to be so based on that, but it really is. Like, just having different background music for each event is so cool. So this is a game that you're trying to avoid, you know, obviously being washed away by the wave. This is probably, you know, one of my not as great events. That makes sense, Frodo. You got to land with the same angle that you take off with. And this, you know, this is they could have done this a lot better. There's another NES game called TNC Surf Designs that does a lot better surfing game. This is you basically are just sort of stumbling through the dark until you get your score. Oh yeah, I didn't hit that at the right. Yeah, I'm sure she wouldn't care. Actually, this is one of my more favorite events, the boardwalks roller skating. No, too late. The music in this particular event reminds me of music from Skate or Die. Come on. Oh. Yeah, not so good there. Now the BMX, my favorite version, oh my gosh. My favorite version of the BMX Sport is the Atari 2600 version. They totally redid it and made it really, really fun. I believe that this event is probably the weakest in California games. It's a hard one to do. Oh, jeez. So, yeah. I'll lay that all on the fault of myself for not knowing how to do that correctly. Alright, Flying Disc, this is where I shine. I love the Flying Disc event. Alright. I also love the music. Oh, that was horrible. I'm always up for, am I not doing this right? Alright. What am I missing here? We're gonna have to do that again, because I love... Oops, no. No. I said no. Some of it's... I want to do the flying disc again. I'm missing something here, obviously. Speed, angle. There we go. Okay. So the way that this event works in the NES version, at least, is that you actually control your catcher. So I'm actually controlling with the D-pad the person that's in charge of catching my flying disc, which adds an extra something. Yeah, that was no good. All right, we'll try that again. This is practice. Were there ever any Dutch computers? Like Dutch manufactured computers? Oh, it's pretty good. Oh, no! You can make her die. I'm not leaving until we get this thing down. Ah! Almost. Almost. Oh yeah, Philips, the inventor of the CD format. Did they have their own computer? I mean, I know they had the CDI. There we go. Really? What did Tulip make? Do that again. I just love this so much. Ah! Nope, missed it. The Philips P2000, was that a Pentium-based system? Ah! Alright. Anyway, we got the idea. So yeah, that is track and field. Or I'm sorry, that is California games. Mitsuyama, is that the same as the Odyssey 2 in the States? Is that the same system, or is it something different? Speaking of track and field, why don't we try that out on the NES? We'll see how that works. I don't know that I've played a lot of track and field on the NES. I had track and field 2, but not track and field 1. Let's try track and field 2. I really like the Odyssey. I pressured Aaron for years to do an Odyssey 2 podcast, but he said there was already one out there, as if that was an obstacle to doing one. Championship mode. Let's see. West Germany. That's weird because I'm pretty sure this game came out after the fall of the Berlin Wall. I could be wrong though. Interesting, Frodo. I bet those things go for big money these days, don't they? What games did you have, Mitsuyama? The Konami plane arrives. Odyssey Yosu. I don't believe that's actually Yosu. I guess you could make that a Korean name. Munchkins and Satellite Attack. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I only know of the Odyssey games that Aaron has brought over. We did a video on the Dragon... What was it called? I can't remember what the name of the game was, but it was a combination board game and an Odyssey 2 game. It was super neat. But that was a multi-camera affair. I believe that was the most complicated as far as number of cameras Amigo's video of all time. I wish that video got more love because it was a real bear to set up. Oh, is it the same as KC Munchkin, Mitsuyama? Space Monsters and Invaders from Hyperspace. Are they both sort of Space Invaders clones? Z9K9? Okay. So this is the triple jump. Pressing A. That's no good. My angles were off there. We'll try that again. So pressing A rapidly builds your speed, and then B is actually what... It's all about the angles. You got to get as close to 45 as you can on all of them, I'm pretty sure. Boy. I guess I'm not building up the speed that's necessary. If Brent was here, you know, Brent is out of me, Aaron, and Brent is by far the best A pusher of all of us. That's no good. That first jump, I think, is what is important. Yeah, that KC Munchkin boasts famously being, you know, it's most famous for being sued by Namco for, you know, copyright violation.
On your mark, get set.
And this is one of these games where I actually don't know, because every game is different. I don't know what is actually supposed to, like what I'm supposed to be pressing to build up speed. It's not A and B. Maybe it's left and right, up and down. Yeah, I don't know how to do that one. I am not going to win this race, I can tell you that. It's not an alternating combination of A or B either. I don't know. I don't know what makes this thing. Maybe it's a... I'm doing like a circular motion on the pad right now, and that appears to be doing something. It's getting ready to run out of juice, though. Well, we'll get there, sooner or later. This was a game I always played with the NES Advantage, which was the arcade stick that was sold with the NES, and that had rapid fire. And with a game like this, any button masher is going to be made so much better. Interesting, Z9K9. Would you compare it to Combat for the 2600? We'll just have to practice the individual events because we'll never see them otherwise. All right, canoeing is next. So obviously, Track and Field 2 really expanded upon the original game. So in this game, you're rapidly pressing A to build up speed and steering to go through the gates with the D-pad. That's awesome, Missiana. Oh. I believe that Aaron's first video game system was the video pack. Or the Odyssey 2, as it were. I've looked into getting an Odyssey 1 just to have one, but the problem is that you need to have those overlays, and those overlays only come in two sizes. The commonly sized TVs of their day. I mean, you can get one that's like 21 inches or 32 inches or something like that. Huh, that's cool. Z9K9, where do you live? Where are you at? Interesting, Proto-NL. Which computer was the big selling home computer in the Netherlands, even though it was made in the United States? Well, there really weren't that many. I mean, there's the Apple II, the C64, the Atari 800, 400, 800. I mean, it's got to be one of those, right? What else was made in the States? Nothing. Maybe, oh, no, I take it back. I take it back, Frodo. Here's my guess. Get ready. I bet it was the TI 99 the TI 99, right? Because you're expecting me to guess something that's more obscure. It's got to be that, right? The TI? Because that would be something I wouldn't guess right off the bat. The Exidy Sorcerer. Oh man, Frodo. You know, that was Dave Haney's first computer. When I interviewed him at Amiga Ireland, that was his first computer. He kept that thing forever, man. Interesting. Very interesting. Exidy, of course, being most famous for being the publisher behind the Death Race 2000 game. Let's try Taekwondo. Z9K9, I don't understand how you can afford to live in London. I watched this show on Netflix called Grand Designs, and it talks about what people pay for even just like a plot of land to build on in London. And it's just crazy. It's crazy all day long. I don't know how anybody can afford to live in London. Man, I'm rocking this guy. Oh, okay, maybe not. Oh, face first on the pavement. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Miss Young. Yeah, Grand Designs is a crazy. I mean, everybody that's building on Grand Designs is building something out of the ordinary for sure. But even when you think about like the prices that people pay for the plots, you know, to build on, like this was an old like dairy mill or something, and it's like I paid like 175,000 pounds for it. I guess they show Grand Design. I always assume that Grand Design's an American show, but of course it's not. I'm sure it originates. I don't know where it originally shows. If it's a BBC or a like ITV or something like that. I feel like I can beat this guy. Just let me up. Give me another chance. Channel 4. Okay. Yeah, the best thing that you could have done is to bought property in London, or I mean, really anywhere in England in the 70s or before. If you could buy property in England in the 70s or before, you're winning in life right now. especially if you're inside the green belt, for sure. Oh, oh my gosh! What? Come on, come on. There we go. I got him. All right, I beat him. All right, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick. I'll be back to show off the rest of these games. I will be back shortly. Oh no, well, the poll will have to start without me. All right. Okay. So this is another one of these things where I'm sure you've got a hammer on A. Yeah. And I guess just my hammering skills are just not that great. Oh, I was too early. Mitz or actually Z9K9 or Mitsuyama. What is a good kebab costing these days? Just a doner kebab in the UK. What are you paying? Doner kebab chips. Man, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've clearly lost my touch with the pole vault. That's like a knife. You have doner kebabs in the Netherlands, Frodo? Is that a thing over there? They like kebabs? All right, we'll skip the pole vault. What else we got here? Canoeing, we did that. Archery. Let's try archery. Maybe this will be similar to the Daley Thompson. No, it's not. All right. I'll take it. What does it cost you over there in the Netherlands? How many euros does it take to get yourself properly satiated with a good doner kebab? That's pretty reasonable. Very reasonable. I mean, that's not much more than what I was paying when I lived in Sheffield, 10 years ago. Gosh, 11 years ago now. I'm old. There's no I can get this. Yeah. All right. So I think all the rest of the events in track and field are well, we'll see if there's anything else that yeah. So let's try Skate or Die, one of my favorites. This is another one you can compare to the C64 version if you are more inclined to be of the micro ilk. I don't know if Skater Die got a ZX Spectrum port or not. That would be interesting to seek out. I lived in Sheffield from September of I guess late August of 2009 to July of 2010, June or July of 2010. I think I left in very early July 2010. I went to graduate school at the University of Sheffield. Got a master's degree in electronic and digital library management. How is the port, Frodo? Again, you know, I'm such a music guy that I love the tracks, and that, you know, the C64, it has its own sound, and I will never knock the SID soundtrack on the C64. It's got a different sound than the NES sound chip for sure. That's a pretty good score for me. Simplify or die. What's this? Nothing. For me, when I was a kid, just like hovering around these things, I just thought it was so cool. Let's try the jam next. The high jump is the only thing that you really can't. You really need rapid fire to do well in the jam. At least I do. So. Wow, the Bishop of Sheffield. That's crazy. You know, I never went to an Anglican church when I was in Sheffield, although if I had to do it all over again, they did have evensong, I think is what the Anglican term for Vespers is, and I would have loved to have gone. There's a very nice Catholic church in Sheffield. You know, I sort of rag on Sheffield a lot in the podcast, but part of the problem is that I think that I only really saw the city center, and I didn't see any of the surrounding regions of Sheffield, because I'm sure that there are some really nice places there. You know, the university is just bang in the middle of the city, and it looks so much like so many cities. You know, it's that post-war. I don't know, the high street, just, you know, I don't know. It's hard for me to explain why it just didn't do it for me, but it just didn't do it for me. It seemed like it had no soul. You know, you have all these shops, maybe because the signage was not, you know, great or something, but you just have all these shops, you know, and but of course, you know, most of my time was spent either on the uni campus itself, or taking the tram to Meadowhall, and working at the Apple store there at Meadowhall. And of course, Meadowhall, it almost felt like being at home again as far as being a mall goes. It's very, very similar to an American mall, Meadowhall. I remember going by all the old steelworks that were being torn down, and one day I came by and they were all gone. It was amazing. I wish I would have taken more pictures. I really do. Okay, freestyle jam race. Race is what we haven't done yet. Yeah, one of these days, next time I do a Spectrum stream, I will check it out. I'm sure it is on that mega tap file that somebody has posted, that Rushi posted on the Discord. I love this little tune. I can do better than that. 99,000. Yeah, I've heard that Sheffield has really improved a lot since I was there, and I'm sure one of these days I will come back. I've still got a lot of friends that live in Sheffield, and I met lots of super cool people working at Apple. Most of my British friends I knew from working at Apple. The dormitory, I don't know what you call it, residence hall that I lived in when I was a student at Sheffield was all international. So my flatmates were all from Iran, which was awesome in its own way, you know. But the actual British people that I knew all came from the Apple Store, and they were all super nice, you know. I love the North in England. You know, give me the North any day. Yeah, Human League. I believe Throbbing Gristle was also from Sheffield. All right, so the skater died. What else? What else? Let's check out the GH. I'm just kind of looking through games, finding something. Oh yeah, this is. Oh, pushed the wrong button. So this game has quality ports on almost every system. Ivan Iron Man Stewart's Off-Road. I went to Manchester one time. We actually had to go to the Manchester Apple Store to do some training. I think that they were some sort of a combined training session that we had to go to. And yeah, I mean, Manchester, you know, it was sort of like a bigger Sheffield, to tell you the truth. You know, as far as what the high street look, the problem is that the high streets all tend to look the same in England. You got your Boots, you got your WH Smiths, and you just got your job center and places like that. And because you don't really have the signage, you know, you have these post-war just sort of brick or, you know, stone buildings. Everything just looks like everywhere else, and you've always got people that have clipboards that are trying to, you know, get on you to answer some survey. They're working for some, NGO or whatever. I don't like to say bad things about England, but it just didn't seem to have the character that you know, the other European countries did. Everywhere it just looked like everywhere else. So yeah, this is not a bad port of Iron Man Stewart. The game is, of course, best played in the arcade, where you have the 4 joysticks on opposite sides of everything. Yeah, that's exactly right. And Mitsuyama, that's the thing, is that I just didn't have the network of friends to show me the really unique spaces. Like, I know that there were tons of really, really awesome places in Sheffield that I just never saw. Because I didn't have the network. You know, all my friends were from other countries and they didn't know anything either. If I had to do it all over again, though, and I had to choose a UK institution, I would have not chosen Sheffield, obviously. I would have gone with, you know, either Oxford or Cambridge, and at least have that experience, you know, the Harry Potter-like experience. I would still love to go to Oxford or Cambridge and just, especially Oxford, and see the sights. I can't afford anything now. That's race. I'm in the lead. Oh, I was in the lead. Where are you at in Mitsuyama? Where are you at in the UK? I got no nitro. My racing compatriots have tons. Manchester. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I apologize. Dreamcatcher also hails from Manchester. I know the Ocean Software, formerly located in Manchester. I don't know if any of the remnants still remain. Do any of the remnants of Ocean still remain in Manchester? And Rockstar North is in Manchester, right? Yeah. So anyway, I believe that. Oh, they're going to let me continue. How nice of them. Let's buy an accelerator box and see if that helps us a little bit. Probably should have bought some nitros. Yeah, you know, I love Ocean as a developer because they brought us the Addams Family. That all their sins of other licensed titles are forgiven because I love the Addams Family so much. I imagine that any of the cities, Oxford, Cambridge, any place that's anywhere close to the university, it's going to be mega expensive. I think I'm in first place. I think I'm winning this thing. I'll show you a NES exclusive that is similar to this. I think I was not. I guess I was second place. One of the best racing games on the NES comes from early on in its life. It's a game called RC Pro-Am, and I believe that this is a Rare developed game. So from the UK, but I could be wrong. Yeah, Rare, right. I don't believe that this was released on anything other than the NES, but it's an incredible game. Very good racing game. I prefer it to almost anything else, you know, from the 8-bit platforms. It's definitely better than Micro Machines or Rad Racer, which is another Rare title for the NES. Oh, jeez. Interesting, Thunderfist. Oh, where are you at, Thunderfist? You UK based or US based or other based? This is very similar if you were watching Aaron's stream last night to John Anderson's Rally Speedway, and that you're really just steering left and right. I never take my foot off the accelerator here. Is it really, Mitsuyama? Quite interesting. I've never been to a Quaker meeting house, but I would love to go. I don't really have any Quaker friends. The only Quaker I've ever known was I don't know if he was a quote-unquote practicing Quaker, but he came from a Quaker family. The CEO of the company that I used to work for came from a Quaker background, but I would love to go to a meeting house at some point. Come on. One more lap. I can do this. Ah, I missed the turbos there. Ah, and I turned the wrong way. Oh my gosh. Oh. But again, you've got a developer like Rare, UK-based developer, and it's like, but they still were, you know, it seems like all of the best efforts, and again, I lay this directly on the feet of piracy, where they're like, you know, we're we're going to put this top quality product out on this system that nobody is pirating for. And for some reason, you know, that's where all the best efforts were, you know. I truly believe that if the, what is it called, Frodo? The thing, you posted some pictures of these, I think, on the Discord, of the cartridge, the cartridges for the Spectrum. What were those called? Let's try Arch Rivals, a Basket Brawl. Interface 2 cartridges, right. Of course, those were so much more expensive than the cassette versions, but if the Spectrum would have come right out of the gate with a cartridge-based solution that you couldn't just dub tapes, you know, like you can with anything, I really think that you would have gotten a lot more high-quality releases. You know, developers are going to put their best forward with something that is not going to be able to be copied. Yeah, I mean, that's great. That's great. Did you think it just came too little too? Oh boy, A actually shoots, not passes. Get in there. Yeah, that's right. I think this game surely got an Amiga release, didn't it? Come on, get in there. So this is a 2-on-2 basketball action. The best Nintendo basketball game was a game, Konami's NBA basketball. This is definitely not the best game, but still, you know, sort of fun. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's understandable why cassette games won out. I mean, if you could buy a cassette game for under £10, and a Interface 2 cartridge might cost you twice that, why would you ever buy one? So the fact that they gave you that choice at all, you know. But of course, being a computer, you're going to want to have a disk drive, and by having a disk drive or cassette drive, because people are writing their own things or whatever. So there was really no way around it. You needed a system like the Nintendo, or really like any console that made no claims to be a computer, to really make a game development environment open to where you wouldn't have piracy. And of course, there were things like action replay carts for the NES, but I mean, I would say 0.1 of 1%, you know, a fraction of 1% of people had those. Yeah, that's right, Frodo. Clive was a lot like Steve Jobs in that, you know, the only thing he hated more than video games was comic books. Something often said about Steve Jobs. So, shoot it. Oh. Do you guys remember British Knights shoes? Was that a thing in your country? British Knights were the rage in America in the late 80s and early 90s. I still remember several of the commercials. And then they sort of disappeared. I'm going to have to watch, I'm sure there's a YouTube series, probably a multi-part YouTube series of the demise of British Knights. That sounds like good TV watching later this evening. I never had British Knights. Of course, when I was in elementary school, and really even in the middle school, the Nike pump shoe was the big deal. Oh, the shattered backboard. Really? There was a British Knights store in your mall. Interesting, 48K RAM. Are you in the States or are you in England? Or somewhere else? I keep meaning to pass and not shoot. Oh. Charlottesville, okay. So you're a fellow American. here we go. It's basketball time. Are there any Dutch brand trainers, Frodo? Do you have like your version of Nike or Adidas or something like that? Oh. Interesting, Miss Yama. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today's stream. I thank you guys, Frodo, Mitsuyama, 48K Ram, Thunderfist, everybody that's currently lurking. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, playing some Nintendo. And I hope that you will tune in live if you can next Friday for the show. It's been a lot of fun playing some of my favorites here. And I hope to see you guys again real soon. I will see you later on. Oh, Mitsuyama, thanks for being here too, man. Luke, thank you. And I'll see you later. Adios.